So Lexi Hull, obviously, a player for the Indiana Fever. And I would say the Rose, but she doesn't leave the bench anymore. She has been pushed to the end of the bench from a starting spot on the best team in Unrivaled to end of the bench on the worst team in Unrivaled. Like, it does, for me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is Nola Henry doing? Like, I understand, okay, yeah, you can't bench Kalia Copper, but like, it's so obvious. And anyone being like, oh, the Wings would have been so much better if Nola was the coach over Chris Coquelin is. Based on what? Based on what? Nola Henry did a bad job at Unrivaled last year, and then, in fairness, got very lucky that Kalia Copper went and got herself injured. Because I don't mean to wish injury on anybody, but this team functions so much better without Kalia Copper. And Lexi Hull has been now relegated to the end of the bench, while Marina Mabry drops 47 on them. She has a near 50 piece on them. And everyone's just like, oh yeah, that happened. Marina Mabry goes and drops 47. And what's people's reactions? Oh, okay. Not, what are we doing? Not, should we put our best defender? And by the way, Marina Mabry was cooking Lexi Hull. But at least when Lexi Hull was on, it was the unbelievable, crazy shit that she was putting up and going in. And in fairness, Lexi Hull did jump on some of those fakes that Marina Mabry was throwing, but I don't really care. Like, she had a 20-point second half. They got killed while Lexi Hull was getting bench splinters. I understand Lexi didn't do well in the plus minus, but like, it's not even about the plus minus at this stage. It is literally like their lineup works 100 times better when it is Chelsea Gray, a big, and a hustle player. It's as simple as that. Last year, it was Chelsea Gray, Angel Reese, and Sykes a lot of the time. This year, it's been Lexi Hull. It does not work with Kalia Copper, Chelsea Gray, and a big. That line does not work. And to be fair, like, at times they ran double bigs last year with Azare and Angel Reese. But lads, we are now sitting here watching game after game after game where Lexi Hull is sitting on the end of the bench. Like, Kate Martin's even playing more minutes for the Breeze at the minute than Lexi's playing for her team. And no offense to Kate Martin. Kate Martin's been absolutely terrible. She's been she's been outside of the worst player in Arrival by 100 miles has been Rachel Bannum. Outside of Rachel Bannum, Kate Martin might be the worst player. Might have been the worst player so far. At the same time, the likes of Dane Evans and stuff are injured. And actually, no. There's some players that haven't been great, to be fair. But yeah, we're looking at it now, and it's just a pity. It is just a pity that she's not playing at all. Good thing for the Fever, though. Because if there's going to be a season, and it is a very much if right now, I'm not going to say when, but if there's going to be a season, Lexi Hull is... People put way too much stock in Unrivaled, and I think these WNBA teams are putting way too much stock in Unrivaled. We saw it last year. A lot of teams were valuing players based on how they were playing in Unrivaled. It was a weird one. It was a really, really weird one. That being said, when it comes down to it, Lexi Hull is going to be a bit less sought after, maybe in free agency, which helps us. Which absolutely helps the Fever because... Again, what Lexi Hull does cannot be replicated. It cannot be replicated. Absolutely, it cannot be replicated. And there are very few players that have this type of hustle that are able to be defensive playmakers like Lexi Hull. Those players don't really exist. They don't really exist in the WNBA. And they don't really exist, to be honest. They're hard to find in pro basketball. Like someone who's able to play a hustle player role at the pro level and do it at an elite level like Lexi Hull is kind of rare. That being said, though, I do feel like Lexi in general has the ability and to command something decent in free agency. It's not like, let's just say hypothetically, it's going to be way over $1 million for the max salary. Half a max, give her 500-600K. If it's 1.4 million, give her 700-800, give it 800K maybe. Like, basically, don't give her a contract that'll stop us from signing a Leah Boston or Caitlin Clark when their free agency comes up, but give her as much as you can give her. Like, at least it means, again, because she is an RFA, teams can put whatever price, realistically, unless the Fever sign her immediately, they are subject to what other teams want to bid on her. Like if she doesn't sign straight away with the Fever, she can sign an offer sheet with another team, and the Fever can match that, which could be awkward for the Fever. Again, the biggest fear is that some team makes a dumb move, but I don't see that happening. I really don't foresee that happening, to be honest. Maybe like unless it's an expansion team. At the end of the day, we saw with the Valks, like when it comes to the expansion teams, it's better to win than it is to have the. I'm not gonna say have the star. Like if it's a Caitlin Clark star, but like for example, have like a star role player like a Kate Martin. Like I don't think Kate Martin affects whether or not people are gonna go to the Valkyries games. Even though, in fairness, she does sell jerseys. Just like Sophie Cunningham's going to sell jerseys. But like individual teams, I don't know if individual teams profit off jerseys. I'm pretty sure in the new CBA, it's basically like if one team sells a bunch of jerseys, that money gets split between all the teams. I'm pretty sure I read that. And that's what the league have already agreed on. So basically, again, the Valks, the Liberty, the Fever are subsidizing the entire league. So whatever they sell in tickets, whatever they sell goes towards the total league pot anyway. Which is kind of a shit one, but look, it is what it is. And yeah, it is. It's one of those things. It's a funny thing again with American sports. Like everything is set up for the league to succeed and not for teams to succeed. Whereas in other, like in European leagues, it's like, yeah, a team might go bust if it's mismanaged, but like the league will never go bust. And in American leagues, it's the opposite. If there's one or two teams that are going bust, the likelihood is the league's very close to going bust. But yeah, look, it is what it is. I do feel like Lexie is someone that was playing too well to be getting bench splinters, to be honest. I feel like she was too important to her team to be getting bench splinters. And we saw what she did in that game, what she did to Paige Bueckers. She had Paige Bueckers in hell. She had Alyssa Thomas and Jackie Young in hell. And as soon as Copper comes back, she's gone to the end of the bench. She is on the end of the bench, which is, again, she's getting her workout in. Assuming there is a season, that's good for the Fever. If there is a season, it's very good for the Fever that she's there on the end of the bench. Because if she's on the end of the bench, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. Because at the end of the day, with her being on the end of the bench, it means that she's not going to get injured and her free agency value is a little bit less. Again, I would say like, oh yeah, you want players to pay as much as possible. As a fan of a team, I want the team to put as good a team as possible out on the floor. She'll make her millions in brand deals. I hope she becomes a billionaire. But I also hope that her salary does not fuck us over salary-wise as a fan of a team. And I don't understand that the weird thing in the WNBA where it's like fans are celebrating. Like, this is again, it's just not a sports thing. Like fans are celebrating players that get given bad contracts for because they've made the bag if they like them. But then if you're Kirsten Bell, they'll abuse Kirsten Bell for years on end because she has a not even terrible contract. She was making $90,000 a year. Just so they couldn't sign some other random vet. Kia Stokes and Kirsten Bell. They'll go at them and Meg Gustafson. But I'm like, and not the fact that you're paying a league high salary to Jewel Lloyd who's coming off the bench. But yeah, it was one of those weird things. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. See you guys.